Okay, that's it. That's the review. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, Forbidden Door happened. I woke up. I had a rough night, trying to go back to sleep. I was still excited, watching history and quality content being made between these two professionals. Will Ospreay, despite his personal stuff that came out years back, is a damn great talent. And Kenny Omega, despite Brawl Out of all places, he's a phenomenal talent too. Despite what people think about Kenny Omega ever since Brawl Out, and despite what people think about Will Ospreay and his horribleness in his personal life, let's be real. As wrestlers, as characters on TV, do I even need to say it? Okay. Let me just go on here for a quick second. I made a comment about this match, and to be quite frank, I talked to some people, and I was chatting on the Jeff Beecham Network's live watch after the show and whatnot, and after this match in particular, and this is what I said. So people could say I'm biased when I say this, but I want to remind everyone that there's still 7 more years left, so anything can happen. But right now, Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega, round 2 at Forbidden Door of 2023 of AEW and NJPW Wrestling, the reigning and defending undisputed match of the decade. Oh yeah, we're going there. Yes, I am going to confidently say this. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega 2 at Forbidden Door is the reigning and current match of the decade. You still got 7 more years left, wrestling industry. There's a chance you'll top it. But right now, for now, this is reigning champ for the decade so far. Here's the thing. I initially thought it was not going to be as great as the first one. Not because they're not good enough, but because they have all these outside factors going in. Like, you gotta remember, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay have a lot of pressure on them currently. Will Ospreay pressure on himself to beat Kenny Omega, the G1 Climax and all that coming up. And then you got Kenny Omega, who in character and storyline has to deal with the United Empire, Blackpool Combat Club, Don Callis' The Don Family with Konosuke Takeshita currently, and still dealing with the repercussions that happened from Brawl Out. So, probably 5 things that they want to finally get CMFTR versus the Elite going. I'm still wishing for that, but, or just Kenny Omega and CM Punk, and we could just call it a day. And this is on top of the fact that he's the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion. To see this match, oh god, I wish we could go. I wish I could have went, but sadly I can't because life sucks. And my buddy Lex from AEWxNJPW crew got to go to the show and see it live in person. Hopefully his sign made TV airings. Sorry, Noah. But seeing this match, I could not begin to imagine what this match was like for the people in the crowd. Just seeing these two. Like, here's the thing. I'm going to just say the hot take. The first act of this match, as part of my belief of the 3-act narrative for wrestling matches, when I was doing that whole comparison with AJ Styles and, you know, and Shinsuke Nakamura, when I compared and contrasted the difference between the Wrestle Kingdom match and the WrestleMania match, and there was a huge 9-day difference. Forbidden Door started off with this match pretty low for me. Like, I was like expecting something insane to happen in the first act. But Don Callis was involved. Like, you had to remember, that was an added element that you didn't know what was going to be involved, especially with Ospreay getting the help of a military-grade security force. Yeah, I don't know where Don Callis got that kind of money. Like, he worked at ECW, and then he was running Impact, which doesn't generate the kind of money you would think that you would get military-grade security officials from a continuity sense, but okay. But, Kenny, oh God, Omega was, I was worried there were going to be huge shenanigans that would take away the drama and telling of this match because of Don Callis. Luckily, the ref threw him out right at the beginning of this match, so it's like, we gotta get rid of him, but we're gonna keep the security guards because we need to establish the presence is still there. But Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay in the first part of this match, it was a lot to be desired. I was kind of not interested. I was wondering, I'm trying to wonder what's going on with this. But then we saw Ospreay wanting revenge for what happened with him in New Japan in the Wrestle Kingdom match, where he's bashing Kenny Omega's head into the table, and then he just does another, and it's just like, okay, is Kenny dead? And if so, you bastard, you killed Kenny. Obligatory South Park reference needed to be made because the Jeff Beaching Network, when they were doing this, did not, surprisingly. I am glad they did not do that, and they had the restraint still, but I do not have that restraint, so I can do whatever I want. Especially since this is a post-match talk. But, anyways, Kenny adored Omega, and Will Ospreay delivered. After that moment, that's when it got on. Like, the referee was giving them so much leeway to use violent weaponry. Like, here's the thing: it was so violent in this match. I don't think Kenny's inevitable blood and guts match with Blackpool Combat Club is gonna work out so well for the Bloodfest, because Kenny left it all tonight. Left it all on that night because he was vicious. He was savage. He was brutal. Will Ospreay was brutal and destructive against each other. They were killing each other, fighting it out, duking in Mortal Kombat style. I'm surprised they didn't go so far as to feature Torn's flesh off, besides massive amounts of blood. And don't worry, I'm sure there are parents writing to AEW saying, this is offensive. And by parents, I mean the tribalists who've lost their minds, who do not like Kenny Omega and think his existence is a sin against nature for some madness. But there was so much unpacking here. I was like, when that moment, when the steel steps were involved, like, you saw it drenched in the blood of Will Ospreay. And then Kenny Omega's blood being drenched as well. Like, even after the match, after an hour, heading into the main event, when Bryan Danielson's making his entrance, I'll talk about that match too soon. When Bryan Danielson is making his entrance, they did not clean out the blood off the steel steps. They wanted to make people realize, see that little detail, and remind them that this is the ring, that this is the wrestling industry, and what happens in the ring is gonna stay in the ring. One of those rare times I don't think I've ever seen a wrestler, remove. I've never seen a promotion remove the blood, unless they're the smaller, not so funded as much promotion. But I've never seen a big promotion ever just not wipe away all the details and the gory detail out of the ring, like they would do during commercial breaks or when they're fixing the ring up for the next match. Like, that's interesting. And Ospreay licking the blood of Kenny Omega. Considering how much people like to think Kenny Omega is some sick, deluded madman, I'm surprised I have not seen any horrendous disease jokes made. Guys, but don't worry, I'm sure there'll be some on the Twitter space. It's a big platform. And I saw people who don't like Kenny Omega, but they were saying they respect him after this match. To see him go to the lengths that he did with Will Ospreay, and what Will Ospreay did to him, put him through, what Don Callis put him through, what everyone was putting him through, and telling him the top Wrestle King, the top heel return as the cleaner, as Sephiroth, and whatnot. They did it. They freaking did it. This match is a much-watch recommendation. And to see what they put in here, like pile drivers, suplexes, Tiger Driver 91 style driver on him for 2 on his head, like you would think he'd be dead at that point. And then the biggest moment happened. Will Ospreay gets help from Don Callis, who was, I must remind everyone, was ejected but somehow got back in the ring, got able to get back in, trying to save Will Ospreay's life as Kenny Omega continues to destroy him, eviscerate him in ways that should not be suitable for wrestling unless you're GCW or other promotion that involved syringes. The fact that they got Tessa Blanchard is still a miracle in and of itself, and the fact that they're still standing and operating got it is a miracle in and of itself.
I should be like you, Mel.
But they used a screwdriver on Kenny. He got back up. Ospreay does his finisher, foot on the rope, and I was just like, okay, you got me. This match lasted long enough that you could have convinced me that was the end. And then the moment came. Don Callis is whispering something to Will Ospreay's ear, telling him some idea to get to Kenny's head and really defeat him, demoralize him. Don't worry, Brian did that later in the night. He goes ahead and tells Will, it basically gives orders to Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay grabs Kenny, blocks him in the head with a V-trigger. Not as vicious as Kenny's, I must add. There's just something to it. And then he releases the one-winged angel upon its creator. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, that has to, like, this match has been long. That has to be it. That would be. And then the referee counts to 1, and Kenny kicks out. Oh my god. I was like, did he just kick out at 1? No, seriously, did he just kick out of his own finisher at 1? The finisher that only Kota Ibushi and him have ever kicked out of, and that was still at 2. He kicked it out at 1. And of course, there were some people understandably complaining about this, saying like Kenny shouldn't be kicking out of the finisher like that because 1, it's a finisher, it's possibly one of the most protected finishers in the game. Okay, understandable, but at the same time, we saw this with the Golden Lover trigger moment with the Young Bucks, and he kicked out at 1. I think this is the thing. If Kenny was doing this all the time, kicking out at 1 when they did a big finisher that references his past, if they did that all the time, I would legitimately be annoyed at this point. But to see Kenny Omega only do it once and then do it again now, after several years, old. This was during the first year of AEW. Oh god, I'm old. The before times before the pandemic arrived. To see Kenny kick out at 1 of the one-winged angel, getting a renewed burst of energy, it was sort of like saying, like, he doesn't want people to insult his legacy or anything that matters to him. So when people use his Golden Lovers finisher that he's done for years with Kota, that pisses him off and re-energizes him. Will Ospreay, the guy he does not like whatsoever, and Kenny Omega is insulted beyond extreme to that point, and gets that energy, kicks out at 1, then you know you done goofed up. Then Ospreay decides to hit him with a Tiger Driver 91 because everyone wants to be insane now. And that gets him only for 2. And then he got a hidden blade. And then he got a Stormbreaker twice in this match. And that in the second time's the charm this time. So Will Ospreay defeats a bloodied, broken, mutilated Kenny by God Omega Best Bet Machine and becomes the reigning, defending, undisputed IWGP United States Champion. And my one regret is that Mauro Ranallo did not call this thing. My one regret I hope Tony has is that he did not call Mauro Ranallo in Canada and tell him, can you call this match? Call this match, we're going to do something insane, and we need your talents. Because Mauro Ranallo still owes Kenny because Kenny gave him back his love for wrestling after the other place kind of mutilated it in ways that could never be explored. Mostly because my anger for JBL continues to this day, the fact that he got away with it. But enough about the past of incidents of annoyances. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay tore it down. They made money from this match alone. Like, if you had this, like, and then I felt sorry for the 6-man tag team match and the main event match, Okada versus Bryan. I was like, oh my god, how are they gonna top freaking this? I mean, they did. They didn't top it, but they got the hype back. Mostly the main event. The match between the two, the 6-man tag team match between La Suzuki Sex Gods and the team of Naito, Sting, and Jericho and Darby, that was basically a sleeper match just to make people get their energy back in, go use the bathroom. The fact that this is now the bathroom break match and not the women's match in 2023, especially with how AEW tends to handle the women's matches. But they've been improving a lot lately with Collision. And ever since Will Nightingale made history by defeating Mercedes Moné, albeit through extenuating circumstances that are beyond control. Damn you. And the fact that we could have gotten her at the show and probably finding Soria is also a damn you. Damn you, injury bug. And Adam Cole that said, damn you. Oh god. Like, I have no idea what else I can say. Just talking about it gets me hyped back up. Just seeing this match again. Just seeing this match again, talking about it with you all right here on YouTube is making me hyped again. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Like, let's be real. This is only part 2 of a trilogy. What are they going to do to top this one? 60-minute Iron Man match? 90-minute Iron Man match? 2 out of 3 falls like Okada and Omega 4? Anything's possible at this point. Go all in on it. Wrestle Kingdom? I don't know. Will Ospreay says he wants to wrestle it all in. You have it right there. If Punk and the Elite aren't going to mend defenses, or at the very least just shut up and make money, then this is the preferable alternative. An alternative within an alternative. I'm sure there's some poetic irony to be said about that. I have no idea how they're going to top this match. I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure they'll find a way somehow. They'll find a way. They'll do it. Because this is Kenny Omega, this is Will Ospreay, and the fact they both bled like stuffed pig, and bleeding profusely, tasting the blood of each other and themselves, and seeing Ospreay do finisher after finisher to put this man down. Kenny Omega, look, I know we're not supposed to be comparison is the thief of joy, but this is kind of one of the reasons why I so much want to see Kenny Omega versus Roman Reigns, because look at how Kenny was protected in this match, and look how powerful he got. He was basically their big ultimate boss, who can't take the loss against WWE's final boss, AEW's final boss, WWE's final boss. Just have the two titans here collide with each other. It would be let's see, what's that word I'm looking for? It would be biblical. It would be the war of the titans between the Zeus and the king of gods, of the Greek gods, of the Greek pantheon, taking on the gods of the titans that they overthrew. Like, that would be, that's the level that I could see Roman and Kenny go for if both companies got their head out of their asses and decide, hey, maybe we should work together and make money. I'm like, we both hate Vince, right? Like, come on, let's be real. That's the thing Tony and Triple H probably have in common at this point. That's kind of the reason why I want to see that in the ECW. That, and they could have done the ECW promo back in the day with Don Callis and Paul Heyman, but that's been taken from me. And Will Ospreay, I don't know where he's going from here with the IWGP US title. Is he going to defend it at All In? Maybe, probably, perhaps, because he does say he wants to go there, especially if it's in his home country. But, just don't know how else I can articulate it. This is the reigning current match of the decade, of the 2020s. Of the Roaring 20s Part 2, essentially, because we need to have a reminder of the world. But anyways, oh yeah, there's not much I could complain about this match. Like I said, the first act of this match was pretty sluggish at times with the Don Callis stuff. Like, I had worries about that would ruin the match for me and ruin the match for everyone else. But then they kicked into high gear and they didn't put their foot off the pedestal. Like, they just went overboard with it, like probably crushed it even, through the car and caused it to speed all the way up to the hill, and then they would crash down when they felt like it. Though they're still ascending pretty high up there. I'm pretty sure they've left the stratosphere of the Earth and the atmosphere and all the other spheres, and are currently traversing through space and time. And then when a black hole sucks them in, they'll just rip through it somehow and go to another universe. That's how insane this match is for me, to see it. I wish I got to saw it live. I wish I was in Lexus Seas at that moment. I was like, damn, if there was any match I wanted to see more in person, I wished it was this. And I don't say that often. I mean, like, I still got to see Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega as the storyline progression on the Dynamite episode in DC 192, even though it would have made more sense if it was the 200th episode of the milestone. But okay, I'm not Tony Khan, I don't know the madness. But oh god, this was like, Kenny Omega on Twitter came out and says, New Japan Pro Wrestling's in good hands, he'll keep that belt good, but I wish he mentioned that I'm still owed a blood favor. Like, ECW would have killed to have this kind of brutality and the legality for it back in their day, especially since this is still technically a Warner-backed production. Like, New Japan and AEW are working together making this event, but Warner Bros. Discovery still kind of backs it a little bit. If this was the 90s, they would have never backed this. Though, of course, David Zaslav wouldn't be killing everything we love about DC and all the other stuff, but that's a different matter altogether on my other channel. But anyways, but yeah, Will Ospreay and Kenny by God Omega tore it down, left it all out there, probably more. Memorable moments, epic false finishes, historic moment for wrestling for many. This should be held in the archive of wrestling's future, just to show people this is what we had. And look, I'm not saying like And like I said, there's still 7 more years left in this decade. There's still a way any promotion in the world can top this match, in my opinion. Any promotion, even WWE, they still have an opportunity to top this match the best way they can. I don't think they will because they have a restriction policy, but the idea is open to top this. I'm not throwing that out there. I'm not throwing that away yet. Oh boy. Reigning match of the decade. Oh yeah, that's the best title for this match. The reigning match of the decade. Don't worry, it's gonna be up there for a while, I feel. But someone's gonna come and topple it down, no doubt. No idea who. I don't know if it's these same guys. It could be anyone. It could be Roman. It could be Cody. It could be Kid Bandit even. Shout out to Kid Bandit. It could be any one of these people. Hell, it could be Mercedes Moné. It could be Ishii, Suzuki. It could be Okada. It could be Bryan. It could be the Hardy Boys in a tag team match. It could be Edge, his final match. It could be Christian. It could be anybody currently wrestling. Heck, AJ Styles is planning to retire this year. Maybe he'll do one more match like this and go out in a blaze of glory. The idea is out there. This kind of match, this match right here, should tell everyone, should tell the big boys of wrestling promotions to be like, we gotta make something like that. Like, I'm not saying we do all the things, like the super dangerous Tiger Driver 91. Like, everyone pointed out that was incredibly freaking dangerous, and I agree. But still, there's a lot that they could take from this and build on it. But yeah. Now I know this video wasn't as long as the first Will Ospreay Kenny Omega match, but there was just so much I wanted to unpack on this from the old video and to this video. I loved every minute of it. Oh god, this is a great match. This will be one of the matches for the capsule. And when the day comes, Civilization falls, probably in the next 20 or 50 years. Because let's be real, we're pretty freaking stupid, and they find old tapes. I hope they find this match. Like, that's how damn good it is. Or other civilizations out in space. But yeah, this is your host Eric Brown of NRE The WrestleVerse, Neo Reality Entertainment, host of Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News and Reviews Talk. For if you like, comment, subscribe, check out the content in the description below to see people more. I'll see y'all again. One last thing though, I will say this, NRE WrestleVerse podcast will be back soon. I'm still trying to work things out and trying to get things ready for that. But they'll be back. But we'll be back soon. Hopefully, I'll damn make sure of it. But I'll try my best. I'm not guaranteeing promises or anything, but I'm going to try my damn best. I just need to plan out a schedule of sorts to get this working right. Since I also need to catch up on pop culture news talk. But I'll see y'all again. Take care. Have a good evening. Oh, man. This is just... Let me take a page out of Noah Foster's state word English dictionary. God, I love this shit.